Hello everybody, the Lord Root here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play OpenTTD. So, I nearly lost my save last time. I guess I was a little bit too eager to get this thing finished, but we're doing okay now. I think I've got, from autosaves, I've got everything backed up, so even though I nearly had this thing lost, I think we're okay on that. Now, we are in 1976, and there's a number of issues we're going to want to take care of. The first being that this guy here is going to have to expand, and in fact, it turns out that our airport of choice is, and we'll just delete this guy here. Our airport of choice here is going to be 9 by 11, so I'm going to purchase this land here. Unfortunately, you can't really draw this the way that you might want to, but it turns out we have a 6 by 6 thing here, and we want to turn this in preparation for the Intercontinental Airport. We want to make this somewhat larger. And that, of course, means that we must reroute our tracks. So let's go ahead and do that. First thing we're going to want to do here is move these guys over just a little bit and give them some room here. If we do like that and that, we will be able to accommodate our turn. It actually, this is a little bit far out. We'll do like that. There we go. For the purposes of simplicity, what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to lay down some tracks like this. We'll get these guys crossing over and figure out exactly where it is that we need to raise the land, because we've got here, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So this actually isn't far out enough, it would seem. And that's kind of the trouble with planning this stuff out. Fortunately, we are able to keep this guy moving. And when the time comes, we will be able to do more here. We've already got tons of aircraft here, and this next upgrade we're doing will help us in ways that may not be readily apparent yet. So of course what we'll do, we'll go ahead and we'll begin. Oh, there's that signal there. Well, let's see how much we need to raise the land, because we established that that was 9. Right there. 10 and 11 are what we're going to need. And so I'm just going to very quickly take this guy out and raise him a little bit. We'll want to raise the land here as well. And we'll put that back. There's no way they could possibly buy that land there. Unfortunately, this is somewhat necessary. And we will just go up here and remove this path until we are ready. It's a little bit out of the way for us, but that'll just have to do for now. At least until we are able to figure out where we can take this guy. So I think that'll be good enough. And that means that if we want this guy to reach out here, we need to do something like the following, to where we have this going on here. This should probably do okay. And we'll have ourselves a signal here as well. Now, we'll just cut this guy off. Like so. And we're back in business here. So it'll be as though it never happened. Taking the time to do this, as it turns out, can be quite important. But we now have this issue to where we have these signals that must go up. And that can be a bit of a bother. So not the most efficient thing here. Probably best thing to do, I would think, is put a signal here so that we don't idle on these tracks for too long. Oh, there was a train, I think, that got lost. We do have to be careful about that. This is the main trouble here, is finding these areas. And taking care of them. There's some other things I'm going to do here. We need to take care of the signaling issues here, as well as the issues here. And we made 707 here as well in 1977. It's very nice. To quote Borat, very nice. Okay, so there we go. Now we are backed up here. Why is that? Well, we are partially backed up because there's really nothing that can be done here. This was not the wisest construction here, and we have jams here. So let's see if we can get around those jams. If for no other reason than they're quite bothersome. And let's look at maybe getting some of these factories set up. Now we do have a fair amount of the way of things in the way of goods here. Kedborough is expanding nicely and needs valuables to be transported from. That's just profit there. I think what I'm going to do here real quick is purchase this land, which will be necessary for our expansion. Another thing that I'd like to get going that I really didn't get the chance to last time is this town we developed down here. We had worked on a town here that is really, yeah, let's take that and let's upgrade everything. Other things as well. Let's find our, well, we need to find the rail depot first, but so this guy here is probably going to be the best for us. When we create this, we'll connect it to the valley. Although the city, oddly enough, we can connect it to the city as far out as it is. And we have 667 passengers here, which means it is time for us to take our fastest jets here. Possibly the Darwin 300 actually isn't a bad deal here. We'll go between here and our city up here. We want to be careful before too long that we're well taken care of. There's our airport. Taking as many passengers as we possibly can. And we will certainly manage to get money from that. I think, oil here is actually okay. And there we go. Del Hill is doing quite nicely here. And Training Hall is doing well as well. And we have had a breakdown here. One thing that I do need to do is I need to go here to these bus stations. I think we have an upgrade in terms of capacity. And what we can do here is if we go to our cars here, we'll manage our list. I think we can replace these guys here. We have enough money just to replace the entire fleet, which will be just fine by me. Other issues we happen to have here as well is that these guys can get trapped here. So we need to take care of that. As well as this guy here, we need to put up a signal, take this one out, and that will help us tremendously. So that'll be quite nice for us. Yeah, lots of things here to begin looking at. Particularly this guy up here. We have another opportunity, if we are careful at least, to connect this guy to the woods here, and because we can accept all, we can get more goods manufacturing going. And we will get 7 of these tracks here. We'll build a separate station here as well, on to the north to supply us with plenty of goods. And as for this guy up here, if we build another station, we should be okay on our catchment. And this guy up here will simply supply the goods here. So if we go here, we accept all, and we drop off other things as well. Now, we'll just get rid of this guy here. I would actually like to do a few things here as well. I mean, we've got ourselves a pretty good station going for this city, but we need to get this guy up and moving. Unfortunately, that's not as easy as it may sound. If we flatten out the land here, it may be better. We'll have ourselves just another terminus station here because there's not going to be that high of traffic. And these guys will contribute to our oil industry. So we are still exporting quite a bit of oil. And so let's see if maybe we can't get this guy leveled out as such. Put another dock here. And even though we won't get much in the way of our transfer here, we'll just put a depot here and get these guys producing a fair amount of oil, enough to where we can really consider possible expansion. Now, as for this guy here, we got ourselves a bottleneck. Hold on. Let's figure out what the issue is here. Let's turn this guy around. I think it's possibly the case that we are simply too congested here. Oh, why can't we move forward? I think we need the trouble is we need ourselves another signal. There we go. We have not really taken care of our signaling in the way we want to. Same with this guy over here. Oh, this guy over here is probably not the best deal. And because we have this breakdown and we cannot leave the station, there's that as well. Yes, we're well aware of the fact that nobody can get anywhere. Hopefully I have fixed this. This very high congestion deal here. Hopefully this has fixed a few things. I think, however, we're getting a lot of trains that want to turn around here, so we just need to have a place for us to do that. And the sky is broken down, unfortunately, causing lots and lots of issues for us. I'm going to add some places where these guys can move forward a bit. Okay, maybe not the best thing for us to do. And I'm thinking, when we get out of here, we made substantially less money because of this. Because we're still waiting on... Oh, this is... Hold on, this guy is backwards. Or is he? Yeah, this guy is backwards. I'm gonna turn him around. Okay, let's relieve this guy of any deal here. This is not really my idea of a good time. We need to go through here and make sure that these guys can only come in this way. We'll turn him around. And we will convert these signals back to one way. Now we are hopefully better off. I'm going to add another signal in here. Even though it's likely to cause us congestion, we waited a little bit too long to do this. And because of that, the sky is now going the wrong way and keeping us from our work. Okay, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you go back in so we can fix this railway here. And give them a place to turn. And let's switch back to this other signaling type. And that will allow them to hit up any free deal and switch whenever they want to. This crisis has been somewhat averted. Unfortunately for us, it was made possible by the fact that we did not do this in the way that we wanted to. So, turn this guy behind here, and I'm hoping though perhaps not very effectively, that this has been fixed, because we simply cannot come in here like this. Okay, now where are we at? We are now on the verge of creating these oil tankers here. And you know what? We get a lot more oil this way, so we'll buy this guy and have him go to our furthest station and full load, and then this guy will come back and transfer. And we'll make some money from that. The other oil platform as well, that was a mistake we made last time. We don't want to unload all, we want to transfer and leave empty. And that really just leaves a couple of things along the way for us. For instance, we want at some point here, maybe around here or so, to lower this land so that we can place another depot. And do something kind of like this. It's pretty much a straight shot either way. But we do have to be very careful here. Let's not do that. Let's do this instead. And there we go. Maybe not the most perfect thing here, but we now have something that we can look forward to, and maybe some room for expansion. Now this guy is going to need some fast cargo here. I'm just going to stick this whole tanker on him, and he's going to be okay like this. But we will want to go here and full load, and then go back and unload here. And you know what, we might as well clone this guy as well, which should have the exact same orders. So there we go. More in the way of oil production. We are really causing this to move quite nicely. We have valuables here, which is really fantastic. And why not really just top this off with cargo? It's a good question. We have a lost train here. Before too long, I'm hoping, perhaps unsuccessfully, that we will be able to get this guy set up like we want it to. I'm just going to go with the roll on, roll off pattern that we've been using. And for that matter, I'm going to flatten the terrain here. There's no reason not to. Nice level terrain for us to get our station set up as. Maybe just a little bit more like that. We got ourselves this row station here that will allow us to first of all use the ever cool name row station. In fact, I believe I'm going to rename it this now, just because I can. We have a little bit of room here for bleed off too. Let's see, we can have this guy waiting here like this. That's 4. Looks like we're getting a bunch of new technology. They finally managed to upgrade the car. Let's get our pathing done here. And this is a case where we really do want to unload this as needed. We have here another possible turn-off point here for this guy. And the question will be, if we level this out, which we should, will we be able to get this guy moving in a satisfactory way? Well, that, of course, will remain to be seen. We are now in the position to where it really does not matter how it is that we approach this. Either way, we are making money. Still lots and lots of oil here to be had. Oh, we'll just do something along these lines while we're waiting. Let's at least get this guy sorted out here. Again, we want to build another railroad station, or another railroad turnoff here. And we will probably want to put in a thing like this as well. A little bleed off point. A place where these guys can be serviced in peace. In fact, they will turn off here. That seems to be the best place for us to merge because, well, why not? That's a good enough explanation for me. The reason, of course, will have to be, well, why not? And, this is the point to where we are spending a fair amount of our money flattening things out, but that's okay. We have about as much here as you could hope for. Now, we may be developing oil a little bit faster than we might otherwise want. And that is, that could be a problem. Another thing I want to do eventually is get rid of, there's a traffic jam here that we need to take care of eventually. One, if it hasn't happened already, that's down here. And unfortunately, the only way we're going to be able to do that, we've already, we got no coal here that we're losing. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to turn this into a ro-ro station. One that these guys can simply come on up to if they wish. And we'll have 4 tracks available here. And in fact, what I should have done, and what I will do actually, come to think of it, is I should have used control there to expand this. Deadingworth Heights is up here. Let's get rid of that real quick. I know I'm wasting a lot of money, but we need to go here and maybe take this out with control, I'm hoping. Yeah, there's no real way to do what I was wanting to do. That's okay. This can be a switch or something like that. Eventually, but for now, we really want to do something to make this. Well, first of all, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this guy out. And maybe we'll leave the center lane here. That's really not doing us any good. And we'll take this out entirely. And I am sorry about that. I've managed to have my alarm set for the PM somehow. But we have a very interesting question here, which is, what are we going to do with this guy? Well, I'm thinking we might as well build a bridge up here and put another signal down here that will allow us to roll onto this guy. Because as far as we know, there's not much in the way of things. I mean, there are plenty of things that could go wrong here. For sure, but there's not much that can be done about that. For now. So we'll just have to build around this like that. And how do we get onto the sky? Well, that is something I had not really planned out all that well. We'll probably have to raise the sky up like so. And really knowing that we're going to have this guy out here like this. We'll just have to turn on to this, which means we'll remove the signal naturally. And of course, we have trains that are without a destination that we need to find. One of these coal trains that is missing. Let's see what it's doing. Invalid order. Go to Deddingworth Heights. That was Deddingworth Valley we're at. We'll delete that. Same with, I assume, this guy here. I did not really give this too much in the way of thought, did I? That's the problem sometimes. If you don't give these things too much thought, like I've neglected to do here, then they do kind of creep up on you. In fact, I think I want this bridge, which I've built out here for seemingly no reason. To come out here like this. And we'll just turn around like that. It's not the easiest thing for us to do here, but you know, it has to be done, and I really do want this to be taken care of. So no other way in than the way we've chosen. I think that's just going to have to do. If we're coming over here, then that's just going to have to be the way it is. Oh, you know what? I've done something rather stupid here. There's no reason for this per se. I guess maybe if these tracks are congested, or if somebody has to get on the outside. Like that, so they can turn around. Then we'll have to do it this way. which means that we may want some bleed off in the end. The same deal here. So that's taken care of for now. Okay, what train is a void order? Okay, get rid of this quickly. Oh no, don't turn around. You want to delete this invalid order. Train 28 also has an invalid order, which is what? Go to non-tome. We'll delete that and go here to Deddingworth. Maybe. What kind of train is this we're looking at? This is train 28. Train 28 is a passenger train. We have somehow really confused the system by doing this. This is beginning not to work out, this thing I did. Just go back inside and we will take care of you here. This simply was not something that I was expecting to happen. No, turn on back around so I can... Oh, right, I know why I can't do that. Quit doing that. We have had a wreck. I think. Okay, this is turning out to be a huge problem. Okay, don't tell us what our profit is. I want to see what's there. For one, I want to move this guy out here because this seems like the best. Even though this is slower, there's simply nowhere for these guys to go. Oh, I forgot about that Genzu steamer. Let's get this taken care of real quick while I'm at it. Now here's the deal. We actually do... We're in a good position right now to replace this airport with a metropolitan before this guy lands. This is going to be part of the airport. We have two runways in this metropolitan airport. I'm thinking that would be very helpful. It does cause traffic jams, unfortunately. Let's get this guy going here. Okay, let's even get rid of this bottleneck altogether. The depots should probably be out here, because that is causing problems, having all of this track up here like that and nowhere to go. And having to take out a signal like that has caused a wreck, unfortunately. Which does, wrecks are not generally good for business. They generally make business quite difficult. Let's go to our trains real quick. We have something that we must upgrade. This Genzu steamer. One moment. I will actually pause here. Okay, so we're back very briefly. I'm probably going to end the video here. But I did want to real quick see. We apparently have a plane with invalid orders here that has to go to Finbury. Let's figure out exactly. I'll bet you what's going on here is that if we, because of what we did with our plane, that has caused us issues. Wait, not to Nantum. We're gonna go to this other place here. To Finbury Woods. Let's get this going so that we can maybe get this guy to land. One of these is invalid orders, which may cause us to crash eventually. But at any rate, we have our new airport in. I don't think it's screwed with us too much. We're landing finally, and we can service a lot of passengers. We will hopefully be messing around with the 90s before too long, and that'll give us a lot of options. But until then, this has been Thylord Root, and I will see you later.